What's going on, everybody? Your boy Man Up coming at you with one more video today. I was sent this article, and this comes from the DNA Diagnostic Center. Straight from the source, the company who does all these DNA tests. And this report was done back in July of 2010. So 11 years ago, going on 12 years. So you know things have gotten worse. But I'm just going to go off with what this statistic says. The DNA Diagnostic Center, DDC for short, says that 30% of men are not the father. Woo! Now, me personally, if you want to ask me, have I been in this situation? Yes. And I've been in this situation twice. One of them was my ex-wife, another one an ex-girlfriend. And I still have the paperwork to prove it. I do be wanting to show the paperwork, but I don't want to show because the names that's on it, so I don't want no lawsuit on me. So, but this says 30% of men, not the father. And this is, like I said, this is from a company who does DNA testing. That's crazy. That's crazy. But we're supposed to believe everything women are telling us. We're supposed to believe all of the nonsense that we are being told. And I'm pretty sure there are more, because not every DNA testing goes through them, this particular company. And then also to their, saying some people just don't get tested. So there are more, I'm pretty sure. But the fact of just knowing that 30% of people that they test are not the father. Just think about this. They don't do all of the DNA testing, but this is the number one DNA testing company, if that makes sense, how I put that. They are the number one. Like when you watch the Maury show and he says you're not the father, that's the company he goes through. But then there are a lot of other companies that does it too. You see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, this is just crazy. But we're supposed to believe and trust everything a woman tells us. For all the stuff we've been seeing, it's like, seriously? A woman can't be honest and real with us. See, women, what y'all don't understand is, y'all do break our hearts because we grow up believing our women period, not just our woman, but women period are queens. They are sweet and innocent. That's what we are taught growing up, how we are taught to look at women when we're growing up. So when we find out that you're not who we were taught that you are, it's kind of like a betrayal. It's kind of like a stake going through our heart. It's kind of like, how can I put it? It's kind of like, damn, I thought, she was the one. I thought women are special. They don't do no wrong. I thought it was just us guys. So then when we get out into the world, and like I said, this happened to me twice. Once by my ex-wife, not my current wife, but my ex-wife, and one by ex-girlfriend. So just think about this. Just think about you coming home from work, or you coming home, period. You see your man with another woman in your bedroom. That breaks your heart. You ready to just throw down. That's how we feel when we find stuff out like this. Now, what women don't seem to understand is y'all virtue is very, very important. It is very, very sacred because you do bring children into the world. The child does come to the world from the woman. Now, it might start with a man because it starts with the man's seed, but it does end with you. And when we see stuff like this, what are we supposed to think? Now, the DNA testing said, where did this 30% figure come from? This is an often misunderstood statistic provided by some paternity test labs regarding the percentage paternity test with a not the father result. Most paternity test labs report that 1/3 of their paternity tests have a negative results. All of the possible fathers who take a paternity test, about 32% are not the biological father. But remember, this is 1/3 of men who have a reason to take a paternity test. Not 1/3 of all men. That is a huge difference. Of course, that's what I said earlier. Not 1/3 of all men, because some men don't want to get the test. Excuse me. Some men don't want to get the test, and some don't go through this particular company. They might go through another company. So I'm only going by this particular company, which is the #1 DNA testing company in the world. You see what I'm saying? If you're asking me, mine went through LabCorp, which is like number 2 or 3. But DNA Diagnostic, DDC, DNA Diagnostic Center, that's #1. Anyway, this is ridiculous. So when a man gets with a woman, he is risking everything he has. That's why these days a lot of men don't want to get married. That's why these days a lot of men don't want to have kids. Matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about this, I just thought about this right now. Maybe a week ago, if not, probably not so long ago. But anyway, me and my wife were watching Divorce Court. And I cannot think of the name of the episode right now. But there was this guy who was trying to get, him and his wife was trying to have a baby. Now, the wife said his whole demeanor and attitude changed ever since he got a inheritance of $7.5 million. Now, what the guy secretly revealed later on was that he had got a vasectomy. Now, and I already automatically thought, this is why. Because he came across this money, so he's trying to protect himself. Do I agree with him doing that secretly? No, I do not. Do I agree with him going to go get it? That's their business. But secretly, no. That's just wrong. I wouldn't do that. That's just me, by the way, but I wouldn't do that. Now, back to this here. What I was finna say. This is why a lot of men do not want to get married. This is why a lot of men make that determination that they don't want to have kids, they don't want to get married, they don't want to do nothing. And I don't blame them. I don't. Because at the end of the day, man, women, we love y'all. We truly, truly do. We truly love y'all. But you gotta understand, this does break our heart. Like I said, just imagine you coming home from wherever and you catching your man in the bed with another woman. That's how we feel when we see this, when we see stuff like this. Our heart is broken. But see, us men, we're taught not to show emotion. Women, y'all are taught no matter what you do, you're not wrong, it's his fault or it's somebody else's fault. Because have you noticed that a woman would cheat on their husband and say, well, he wasn't giving me enough attention, that's why I did it. It's like, you blaming me because you let somebody else inside you. Are you serious? Well, he worked too much. It's like, goddamn, we can only do one or two things. Now, y'all finna get ready to see some responses from people that has something to say about all this. But at the end of the day, man, I think that this is an eye-opener. I did not know stuff like this really exists on this much of a scale. You know what I'm saying? This high of a scale. 30% of men that get tested by this company are not the father. And that's not including other DNA testing companies, and that's not including guys that just don't go get tested. See, we already 9 out of 10, unless there's some switching at the hospital, we already know that the child is the mom's. That's without question right there. But it's that child mind. That's why they came up with that saying, mama's babies, daddy's maybe. And that is ridiculous. I asked my wife this one time before. I said, if women are so sweet and innocent, they don't do no wrong, then where did all this DNA testing crap come from? Think about that. If you do no wrong, then how come, we have these DNA testings? Why? Because women do step out. According to this, that they have done, 30% of men have stepped out. Of women, have stepped out on their husbands or their boyfriends, whatever. And that's just wrong. Y'all see this article. I'm not making nothing up. 30%. That is a huge number. So they test 100 men, 30 of them is going to come back not the father. That is huge. That's damn near half. Really, it said 32% when you get to reading it, but I'm going to stick by what the headline of this article said, 30. 30% is not the father. Me personally, I think there should be a DNA test done at birth. Me personally, I think there should be DNA testing done at birth. That will solve a lot of issues. I mean, a lot of issues. The DNA test, if you look it up, I'm going to try to find it before I'm done here, but the DNA testing does not really cost a whole lot of money. That will solve a lot of issues on the back end if you think about it. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to look that up right now as we speak. But I think that will solve a lot of issues. I'm sorry right now. Give me 1 sec. 1 second here. I'm trying to look that up as we speak, so I do apologize. One center says $848. Oh, that's called the Good Sale DNA test. I've never heard of that before. Now I'm going to the DNA Diagnostic Center. Give me 1 second. Let's see how much theirs are. Trying to find it. Give me 1 second. I do apologize. I just thought crossed my mind right now. This one's not telling me. They're mostly saying contact them. So, but anyway. All I'm saying though is right here is that we cannot sit here and just say that this is not an issue. I asked my wife that too. I said, if women are so precious and they don't do no wrong, then where all this stuff come from? This center here has no reason to lie on you. It has no reason. It has no reason to lie on you. This is a mutual third party. Don't know none of you. So you can't say, oh well, no, they lying for the men or no, they don't know the guys. The guys just coming out with the mom, with the child, and they take the test and they send you results in the mail. Or if it's court ordered, the judge get the results. Whatever. This is a mutual third party. Don't have nothing to do with nothing. No kind of favoritism. So it's like, wait, where did y'all get this idea from? I mean, I'm just shocked on how huge that number is. If it was said like maybe 10 or less, 10% or less, I'd be like, well, that's normal, I guess. And that's sad to even say that's normal, but yeah. But let me ask you this. The one that I just saw, Good Sale, $848 for a DNA test. Would you rather pay that or go through a whole life of taking care of a child that's not yours? But you find out later on that they're not yours. Because there has been a whole bunch of incidents that I have saw to where I wanted to do a video about it, but I said, no, I'm not. About guys finding out the child is not his. Like there was just one couple that was trying to move to Canada with his wife and 2 sons. They, for some reason, to move to Canada, they had to take DNA tests. Took the DNA test. Man found out both of the kids were not here. He busted out all that woman's teeth. Knocked all her teeth out of her mouth. All her fronts are gone. Look it up. Now, I'm not supporting that, but look it up. But look it up. You'll see. Look, at the end of the day, man, all I'm trying to say is this here, while y'all reading everybody's replies to this. All I'm trying to say is this here, fellas, this is why I've been saying lately, we have to protect ourselves. And I did a video a few days ago about the B condom. Look it up. You'll see it. So, with that in mind, this is why a lot of guys do not want to get married, do not want to have kids, because we are risking everything if we do. And of course, the women are gonna try to shame you. Oh, what you scared? What you insecure? What you don't trust me? I mean, all this kind of nonsense. Of course, they're gonna try to shame us. Of course, they're gonna try to say that we should just believe them and not worry. Oh, I'm not like that. Why you accusing me? Just because they did it don't mean I'm gonna do it. I mean, all that bullshit. But fellas, protect yourself. Hey, I made it plain and clear to my wife. I love you. We have a daughter, but I do protect myself just in case. You just never know. Now, am I saying my wife is gonna do something like this? No, I'm not saying that she is. Will she? You never know what anybody is capable of. And it's sad to say that. It's sad to say that. I remember growing up back in the day, you never heard of crap like this when grandma and grandpa was alive. Grandma and grandpa was, you know what I'm saying, in their early 20s, I mean, like their early 30s or whatever. You never heard of crap like this. I mean, back then, for the most part, when they did DNA testing, it was just to see who the family was. You know what I'm saying? Not to see if you the father, because the woman been cheating. It could have been a long-lost relative or something. You know what I'm saying? But not just to determine if the woman has been cheating on you. Let me scroll back up to the top here, because I want y'all to look at that number again. 30% of men, not the father. Scroll down, read this here. Where did it go? I'm trying to find that again. Damn, I think I lost it. Oh, there it go right there. If you get towards the middle of this paragraph, it says about 32% are not the biological father. But remember, this is 1/3 of men who have a reason to take a paternity test. For whatever reason, maybe it's court ordered, or they just got a gut feeling. You know, that male intuition. I don't think that crap is real, but, you know, women like talk female intuition. I don't think that crap is real either. But anyway, not 1/3 of all men. This is a huge difference. So, that is, now let me get back to the top. That is just weird, man. But anyway, I know this video is a little bit longer than what I normally do, but I just had to put this out there. This was sent to me, and as you can see right there, it's from the #1 DNA testing center in the world. Next time you watch the Maury show and he get that envelope and it says you're not the father, look at that envelope. It's going to have that logo. DDC. With all that being said, this is your boy Man Up, Chunking the Deuce. I'll holler at y'all.